So let's tell you right now the situation in parts of Himachal. Kullu is the worst affected right now, and these are images that we're showing you of the Sarvari river that's overflowed into Kullu. Strong currents are washing away houses. You can see that the water level has already reached right up to the level of the bridges constructed in these areas. The Parvanu town has been completely submerged in flood water. Vehicles are being washed away as we speak. There are homes which are close to the river which are being washed away as well. We're only hoping that nobody is in any of these complexes, nobody was living in any of these areas and were evacuated well ahead of time. Look at the currents there. The strong currents of the water washing away all possible vehicles that are parked on the road. I know it doesn't look like it, but these are actually roads. It bears no semblance of that right now. Looks like a river gushing through these lanes. But imagine the plight of the people who are inside those buildings. They have no choice but to stay put because of the currents in that particular area. They will have nowhere to go, and at the same time will be extremely worried that their house could come crashing down, as we've seen endless images of right now. The situation particularly worrying in Kullu. That's what in fact the Chief Minister also confirmed to me when he spoke to us hours ago. He said Kullu is the worst affected right now. From 2 a.m. in the morning, the administration has been focused on ensuring adequate rescue operations. All those who are stranded are being pulled out. But imagine people who are stuck in homes that are across this bridge, for example. There is no way that they can access the bridge right now. They've been completely cut off from the mainland. The NDRF, SDRF is deployed in these sites to ensure that they can pull out all of those who are stranded. Ashutosh is joining us live right now from Mandi district. Ashutosh, from early this morning to now, has the situation worsened or has it improved? Because there's a red alert in Mandi as well, where you are.
Well, it's exactly situation is worsening, Akshita. And if you remember, during the last segment of a live broadcast from this place, if you remember this place, this is exactly where I was standing. And it had just been a couple of hours, and in fact several of those places, though there was a massive current in the Beas River, but all of a sudden, in last 3 to 4 hours, situation has reached exactly what it was yesterday. In fact, just 500 meters from here, the place Victoria Bridge, which was where the water level was literally touching down. And as we have been told, since the dam near this, several other gates gonna be opening, same the water, the intensity and the water level gonna rise further. In fact, just the other side of this Beas River, where we have this several other mountain drains which are collecting, bringing all the waters together. In fact, the water level was at least 9 to 10 feet down. But just in 3 hours, it has literally now all Beas River and the other side of these two rivers have literally piled, and now we have the same intensity of the water flow. And in fact, that has now resulted to all these low-lying area. The riverbed of this Beas in Mandi is now totally inundated in the water, totally waterlogged. In fact, the entire bridge which was washed yesterday, this portion of bridge has now been submerged. In fact, this was the one portion along with 7 others which were washed yesterday during the similar intensity of rain and a flow of water. And yet again we are seeing, in fact, yesterday, if I could tell you, Akshita, this river was totally very much weaker than the Beas River. But today we are seeing both, since now the water going to be further to the lower low-lying areas. This will worsen the situation further even to the next part of Himachal. In fact, look at this. Just we have arrived here 10 minutes ago yet again, and in fact I could only see a wave kind of situation being formed here with the Beas River. Now literally the river, the water that is coming from one side is literally flowing to the other side of the river. So the river, the water which is coming from Beas is now literally flowing to the other side. In fact, we have several onlookers here, and the police machinery have been deployed, and they are ensuring there are many people who are gathered to just take pictures, selfies out of curiosity, of course, keeping aside their fear and all the advisories that have been. Even at this place, we have several policemen from Mandi, Himachal policemen, and they're ensuring that at least people should not be staying here. The low-lying areas, they have been evacuated, and that's the ancient Shiva temple. This morning, of course, the water was really furious, the river was really furious, but this wasn't the intensity as it was. We have this similar picture yesterday. So if I could say just in 24 hours, we exactly the similar situation. Look at this furious river, the intensity of rain and the current in the water that we are seeing. In fact, most of the time that I'm seeing also debris that is coming out. So this could be possibly while the water is coming from Kullu and the other parts is bringing huge amount of debris, and this could be probably reason we are seeing several low-lying areas, houses, everything were washed away and now bringing the debris to this part of Mandi. Akshita.
From what you're telling us, Ashutosh, there's no let-up essentially. Even if there's no heavy torrential downpour in these parts, the problem is that your rivers are swollen. The water levels are only continuing to go up because of rainfall in other parts where these rivers stem from. So it's not like if there's no rain in Mandi, the situation is getting any better. Water levels continue to rise as it approaches towards the evening, which is a big concern. And so for everyone watching this broadcast, if you're living in any of these areas where there's a red alert, do not attempt to venture out thinking that the situation is becoming normal. Anytime it could turn for the worse.